a Seattle-based documentary production company and creative team is releasing a documentary nationwide that focuses on volunteer firefighters. It's called Odd Hours, No Pay, Cool Hats, and it highlights the important role of America's volunteer fire service community, the triumphs and challenges. Steve is in the ARC Lounge this morning with the co-director and producer, Gary Matoso, and co-director and editor, Cameron Zohoori. Good morning to you all.
Good morning, and thank you both for coming in this morning. I was telling you during the commercial break what a fantastic subject matter, because I think these folks in particular don't get the recognition that they deserve. So what a cool project that you guys have put together. I wanted to just start by asking the inspiration for this. What prompted you guys to put this project together?
Actually, it started with our executive producer, a guy named Peter Yoakum, who was incredibly passionate about the volunteer fire service, and he really felt there was a story that needed to be told. Mostly about just the critical role that these departments and firefighters play just in communities across the country. So Peter, I guess the other thing he wanted to highlight was also just that there's been declining rates of volunteers and call volume is going up. So kind of all those things together was the story that he wanted to get out there. So he knew about us, he knew about our work, and he contacted us, fortunately, to make the film, which was just an amazing experience.
And it's highlighting or impacting so many different communities across the country in this day and age. What other highlights come out of the project, kind of the message that you're hoping to get across from this? I don't know if you want to
Yeah. Well, we're trying to show that breadth of what it means to be a volunteer firefighter across the country. Like you're saying, it's different everywhere, but in every community across the country, these volunteers play a critical role, whether it's hurricanes and emergency response, whether it's actually fires in some places, but a lot of it's not fires. A lot of it's medical calls.
Right.
So we were really trying to show that breadth of what it means to be a firefighter with the role that they play. So we highlighted 7 different communities across the country, and trying to show the range of things they do, the range of people that can step up to do this. Everything from 16-year-olds up to 73-year-olds who are doing this. It's quite a range. So that was really a big goal, was really just highlighting that wide variety of people and roles.
How did you guys choose which communities to focus on, or which departments?
Yeah, so we put out a call to the different various online forums and things like that, looking for stories, basically firefighters that wanted to share their stories, volunteer firefighters. And we got 800 submissions in within 2 weeks.
Yeah. Wow.
So it was kind of an overwhelming process. Our casting director, Louise Collette, is the one who kind of weeded through those, started to narrow down the stories. But then it became this kind of matrix, because we wanted to show, part of like what Cameron was saying, we wanted to show the diversity within the fire service. So we're looking for different locations around the country that would have different services, different ages of people, people from different backgrounds. So it was kind of like, one by one, we would pick our stories, and just wanted to make sure that we had a really diverse mix of stories that really portrayed the volunteer fire service.
I would imagine you were not expecting that response.
No.
Or the interest.
I mean, we had no idea what to expect, really. We knew so little about this going into it. But yeah, people were very willing to share their stories. I think they're stories that haven't been heard that much, and they're still it's a very humble group of people, and they're very service oriented. But they were also excited. I think that their stories were getting out there, and were really very generous in sharing their stories with us, welcoming us into their homes and communities, and really they saw the importance of it, because it was always impact driven, and the goal was to help with recruitment and getting and public awareness. So people were really excited to participate, which was great for us. Definitely made our job easier.
As you were talking with some of these volunteer firefighters, what were some of the triumphs and maybe challenges that they talked about in their day-to-day work with doing this?
I think that the main thing was just finding the way that they could best serve their communities, and we found each community had different types of needs, and I think you'll see in the film the different types of services that they do. I think just generally, in terms of the recruitment things, like the volunteer firefighter community is aging, and it's more difficult to get younger people, involved in it. It's just that the time commitment is a lot, and there's just lots of different commitments for people to be able to spend the time needed, the training, all the kinds of things.
There's a lot that goes into it that a lot of people don't think about too. I understand that it's already been screened. Your documentary has nearly 300 fire departments, so hundreds of them so far. What impact do you think that this is already having on the volunteer firefighter workforce, and maybe those who don't work in it after seeing this film?
Yeah, well, I mean, that was, again, the impact was a primary goal of this, and we worked with the National Volunteer Fire Council to help with that impact. So screenings at departments across the country really aimed at recruitment, and those have been really successful in getting interest from their local communities, keeping it very local. And then now with the screenings on PBS stations as well across the country.
Yeah.
So that's, building public awareness, helping people see that they can step up and do this. But even for people who aren't necessarily in those, communities that are served by volunteers, even if you're in a bigger city that has, paid firefighters, we're hoping that it still is a really inspiring message about people being neighborly, stepping up, being generous with their time, people creating community, and really that idea that it's up to us to kind of create the communities and country that we want to live in, and that's a core value of hundreds of thousands of people across the country right now are doing that, and you can do that in your community in lots of different ways. So,
what did each of you learn from this experience of putting this together?
Well, again, going back to what Cam said, I think it was an inspiring story to work on. I mean, one of the things was Peter came to us with the story. We didn't really know anything about the Volunteer Fire Service, honestly, before we did it.
I think a lot of people don't.
We didn't know. And so,
thank you for putting this together.
As we worked on it, we fell in love with the story and the people, and seeing people who are just neighbors helping neighbors. And there's so much divisiveness, and we all know what has been going on in the country.
Yes.
And I think this really kind of rises above a lot of that. And like I say, it just gives you hope in your fellow Americans, and and that we can work together and
make a better place.
Make a better
for
place.
all of us,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I think absolutely all of that, and I think just the fact that for these volunteers, it's them giving their time, it's them serving the community, but it's does so much for them as well. They get so much out of it, and it's like it's a second family for so many of them. Their families get involved with it. It's this sense of camaraderie and this sense of they're, again, 16-year-olds doing their homework in the station and then running out to go save a life, like just when they need to.
Yeah.
And just seeing all those different facets of the way that it just contributes so much richness to their own lives, and brings so much to them, and that kind of sense of the way they're improving themselves at the same time that they're serving their community was really powerful to see, and something I took away from it a lot. So
really cool.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are going to be interested to watch this. You mentioned the PBS connection, so where can people watch it?
Yeah. So it's available at pbs.org, and on the PBS app. It'll be available for a long time. The local, I think, live screenings have passed, but it's available there for free for anyone to watch.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Nice to meet you both.
Yeah,
thank you
And
very
congratulations
much. Thank
on getting this project out into the world. I know it's always a big feat to pull it off, and all the work that goes into it.
Thanks
so
so much.
Very
Appreciate
important
it.
subject matter. And certainly have to thank all those volunteer firefighters who help out their communities every single day. Of course, we have a ton here in Washington State and across the country. Tyra.
They are our heroes, Steve. Yeah, certainly an important project. And I love what he said, neighbors helping neighbors.
Yes.
We certainly need that right now.
Absolutely.
For more information on Odd Hours No Pay, Cool Hat, just scan the QR code on your screen. That'll take you directly to KOMOnews.com/hotlinks. From there, you'll find a link to the documentary's website. We thank them both for coming on.